go ahead and sit up straight. Close the eyes, bring the hands together. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Swami Samarth Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Datta. Shri Trimabakeshwar Maharaj Ki Jai. Ganga Godavari Mata Ki Jai. Sat Guru Param Puja Muridada Ki Jai. Shri Swami Samarth Gurumauli Ki Jai. Hello. Today we're going to look at the mechanics of yogic breathing. So I practice and I teach Astanga yoga, not the style of yoga, Astanga yoga, that Patabi Choice developed, but the Astanga yoga of Patanjali. So the 8 limbs of Ashtanga yoga, Patanjali said, are all to be practiced together. However, he did divide. He put a dividing line between the 3rd limb, asana, and the next limb of Ashtanga yoga, pranayama. He said we must become proficient in asana before we learn pranayama. And the reasons for that are that our bodies simply don't have the sensitivity, we don't have the control until we practice and become proficient in some asanas. So today we are going to begin a pranayama practice, but then we are going to take it further than that also. So after pranayama, the next limb of Ashtanga yoga is pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses inwards towards their source. The next limb is dharana, concentration, being able to completely fix the mind on one point. And then through dharana, the mind can spread everywhere, which is now dhyana, the 7th limb of Ashtanga yoga. And then the 8th limb is samadhi. So let's go ahead and begin today with Arumuka Virasana, downward facing hero's posture. Throughout this practice today, see if you can develop and keep a smooth, easy, effortless, regular rhythm to your breath. And I will guide you further from there. So keep the heels and the buttocks connected here, the best that you can. And then slowly stretch out, keeping the buttocks back and down on the heels. Stretching the sides of the trunk, the front ribs forward, opening the armpits, stretching the arms from the armpits, and take the head down. Release, relax, soften the neck, back shoulder, head and face area. Now gently walk the hands back under the shoulders to effortlessly push yourself back up. And now let's sit up and do Supta, reclining, Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So if you have some blankets, you are going to take 2 blankets and set the fringes on opposite directions and have the blankets in this fold. Have them on one end of the mat, lengthwise. If you have a mat, you don't need a mat. You can use the floor. Or you could have a blanket laid out. And then you'll need one more blanket or a little pillow. A thin pillow will be fine. So if you don't have these, these nice regular yoga blankets, you may have some type of bolster, little cushion. You may have some regular blankets. Maybe you could roll a blanket up, a thicker blanket than a yoga blanket. So you have a nice length, longer surface, a few inches high. And then with something else for a pillow. So if you have a third blanket, or you just use a little pillow. Or you could fold up a jacket neatly, or a sweater, something. And so now Supta Baddha Konasana. Sit in front of those blankets. Give yourself some space, about a fist distance at a minimum. Ultimately, you want to have your lower back ribs on this edge of whatever you've got here. But that might take years for that to feel comfortable. So you want to feel comfortable here. So you want as much of your spine on the blankets as it takes to feel comfortable. And then also you want to make sure to lengthen the buttocks away. So bring the soles of the feet in. Lift the buttocks, scoot the buttocks towards the heels. And now, see, I'm lengthening. I'm not just laying down, I'm lengthening my body out over these blankets. Lengthening with another blanket under my head so that my chin is not thrown back like this. So you want the back of the neck long, the chin slightly coming down towards the chest. So you may have to adjust this height. I feel that I do today. I used 2 blankets for a pillow for many years. Then it went down to 1.5. It's been 1 blanket generally, but sometimes I need more height. I feel that I need more height right now. Take the arms out to the sides, away from the body, palms up. And relax. Close the eyes. Except maybe you need to keep the eyes open so that you can watch me. And then maybe you'll have to practice this again. So, now here in Supta Baddha Konasana, although this is a wonderful posture to recover in, to help your digestive issues, your female organ issues. This is a wonderful posture. But now we're going to use this posture as a place to learn the mechanics of yogic breathing. So in yoga, we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. The mouth is used for other things, not breathing. And then as you breathe yogically, okay, now this is a very common mistake. And it takes time to learn new habits. Our lungs are in our chest. Our lungs are not in our abdomens. So when I see people breathe, and start looking yourself, and look at yourself in a mirror, you may see. But as we inhale, typically the abdomen inflates. Which, why should that happen when the lungs are in the chest? So as you inhale, breathe the air into the lungs. So the lungs should inflate in all directions. The abdomen should actually come down towards the spine as you inhale, because you're stretching it, because the chest is expanding. And that's, so see here if you can connect with that. And then as you exhale, so now we're exhaling the air, we want to hold the rib cage slightly open at the beginning, begin the exhalation, and then we slowly, over the exhalation, let the rib cage contract back to its normal opening. But also, too, we're exhaling now. So again, the abdomen should deflate as you exhale. So now, see if you can take some yogic breaths here, inflating the lungs on the inhalation, deflating the abdomen on the inhalation, deflating the lungs, deflating the abdomen on the exhalation. As you're doing that in the torso, keep the shoulders down, the shoulders soft, the throat soft. So don't inhale or exhale so much that you tense up. Just let the breath here be smooth, easy, even. Inhaling to the lungs, exhaling from the lungs. Continue as the breath softens and becomes regular here. Continue softening the facial muscles, the eyes, the cheeks, the throat, the brain area, the skull area. Continue softening, relaxing here. To come up from this, you want to be very gentle and soft. So you can take the hands, the elbows back into the floor. Keep the head back here. See if you can lift up onto your elbows. So you gently come back up. Undo the legs. And now, let's do another posture. Setubanda, which we've done on the block, over the block, having the block under our tailbone area. So let's now do it again in a different way here today. So if you have a blanket, a yoga blankets, you can open one up like this, take two more in this quarter fold, have all three of the creases together, like so, and then roll this whole thing up tightly. And now you have a nice firm bolster, or here's an actual bolster. Or you could use a bedspread rolled up, so anything, a yoga mat and a blanket. So make a nice roll that's thicker than what you just had behind you in the last posture. And then take this roll, put it across the surface that you're laying on. I'm going to have this down here. I'll show you why. And then I'm going to have another blanket nearby, or for a pillow again. So a pillow will work if you need that. And then you're going to, once again, face away from the blankets with the knees bent up. You're going to, once again, scoot the buttocks towards the heels, and again, lengthen yourself back over this roll. See, now we're getting a nice opening in the chest, yes. So you're going to come over the roll until the shoulders are falling towards the floor. So now, for me to do that, see my shoulders now, they're not on the floor, yours may be, but I feel my chest is open, the shoulders are coming down rather than up. But my head is still, it's thrown back here, how I just said we don't want. So I need some height under my head. And I actually need more than this. So I'm going to fold this again. So I have a nice, so again I can have the chin feeling like it's going towards the chest rather than back over the head. And now I'm going to take my feet onto this block, because if I put my body on the floor, well, actually, I can, okay? The buttocks are down. If it's uncomfortable being over this, you can have something again under your buttocks, something under the feet, so that you can have this nice open chest here in Setubandasana, Setubanda. So the shoulders coming down, the chest with this big opening, and then once again, relax. Start or come back consciously to that yogic breathing. You'll feel how the breath works differently here than in the last posture. If you have the yogic, the mechanical breathing action down, the breath is smooth, it's flowing effortlessly, you feel relaxed and good. Now you can go further. This posture is great for preparing the body and the mind for dhyana meditation. And this works specifically well, very well, if the inhalation, you have your head area so soft that it, yes, physically we're breathing into our lungs, as I just mentioned. But now, can you draw that inhalation to the back of the head, to the back of the skull, which just so happens to be where the medulla oblongata is, which plays a big role in dhyana, meditation. So, as the body relaxes, as the head relaxes, as the breath flows, see if you can draw that inhalation through the lungs. And then actually, to one other mention with the breath, even though we bring it into the lungs, which is in the chest, not the abdomen, you actually want to feel as if you have columns, 2 columns going up the inner sides of your ribs to the lungs. And so the breath actually comes to the diaphragm area and then fills the lungs from the bottom. So see if you can do that. And then if you can do that, then let the breath pass through the lungs and come to the back of the head. And then as you do that, if you can do that, then also exhale from the back of the head. So feel the breath coming in, up through the lungs, to the medulla, and then same on the exhalation, from the back of the head, through the lungs, out. So again, I'm teaching these principles and these postures here, and you're learning them, you're setting up, doing them for the first time. So again, maybe you could do this once this video is over without the talking. And you would do each posture, the last one, Supta Virasana, a minute or 2. Supta Baddha Konasana, 5, even 10 minutes. You can stay there as long as you want. This posture, Setubanda, 3 to 5 minutes or so. And then to come out now, bend up the knees again, put the feet on the floor, and then gently just turn yourself off the blankets and push yourself up from the side. And then now just take that roll away, have a blanket. If you need one, again, because the chin feels thrown back, and just lay down flat. In Shavasana, notice how every time you move, your mind goes away from the breath. So as quickly as possible, bring it back to the breath. When your mind is completely absorbed in the breath, there's nothing else in the world at that moment, you are now practicing pratyahara. if you can keep the mind completely focused on that breath, you are now moving towards dharana, concentration. And now turn to the side, come up, and now go ahead and sit yourself in a meditative posture. So a cross-legged position. Virasana is a good posture for meditation. So an open-chested, lifted, seated posture. And now, just let the hands be on the legs. If you're in Virasana, you would have the hands on the thighs. If you're in some cross-legged position, you could have the backs of the hands on the legs. Meditative posture with the hands, mudra, you can have the hands folded in your lap. Have the spine lifting up, the chest open, the face and throat soft. Doing those regular, even, effortless, yogic breaths. And now we are prepared for dhyana. So let's bring the hands up. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Swami Samarth Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Datta, Shri Trimabakeshwar Maharaj Ki Jai. Ganga Godavari Mata Ki Jai. Sat Guru Param Puja More Dada Ki Jai. Shri Swami Samarth Gurumauli Ki Jai.